Adventurers beware. Do not begin unless you intend to finish. That's what she said. But in all seriousness, it's 2020, David Adams here. What a better idea could I ever have than to play Jumanji? Because in a year such as this, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? But while I'm doing that, and speaking of adventurers beware, we have an adventure coming up this Saturday afternoon. Titan Championship Wrestling's season finale. It's an event nearly 1 year in the making. And we have an update, a venue change. It's now going to be held at the Jackson Fire Company #1, Jackson, New Jersey. TCW presents, it's the big one, folks, Mount Olympus, where every title is going to be on the line. Plus, we have the inaugural Mount Olympus Rumble match, where the winner will capture, will be named the inaugural, the first ever TCW heavyweight champion. A huge night of action, and let me go over the card for you as having bad vibes. If I roll this die, I don't know. But let's first talk about one of the title matches that TCW is going to be representing. The TCW Middleweight Championship. The current champion, the Spartan Pitbull, Nikos Rikos, defends against a man he may not be familiar with on Titan soil, but certainly a man that he is familiar with on the independent scene. Matt McIntosh, a gentleman who's held championships everywhere he goes, a gentleman who has amazing matches everywhere he goes. Nikos Rikos, a fighting champion, the Stamos of professional wrestling, but this is bar none the toughest title defense that Nikos Rikos has ever had as the middleweight champion. It's not going to be easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. Certainly a potential show stealer in Jackson. 3. All right, I'm safe for now. Let's see here. Crawling and slithering up from the flood come thousands of leeches to suck your blood. I don't know how much time I have, but let's focus here. This next match, the On Point Wrestling Spotlight match. Now, our TCW audience and our TCW locker room may not know much about the two competitors, as we have an intergender match between shooterweight Yoya and the baddest black belt, Janai Kai. Certainly from the research I've seen, strong martial arts backgrounds, they're young, exuberant, and they're ready for a fight. And this is another platform for another company to join TCW. TCW has a great relationship with the likes of Standalone Wrestling, Pro Wrestling After Dark, ICW, Synergy Pro Wrestling, LTW, Gimmick Tree Entertainment, Wrestle Pro, and now On Point Wrestling. And I'm sure there's other companies that I'm not thinking of right now, but TCW's goal is to have that independent wrestling freedom. We want the talent to be able to thrive and survive in an industry that, a lot of times has been labeled, brother, you can work here, but you can't work here, brother, stuff like that. Here we want to bring multiple companies under one platform. TCW here is trying to offer that opportunity to our fans as well to get some fresh eyes on some fresh talent. So this one should certainly be one to look for. I just felt something bite my feet on the ground. with 6-foot wingspan, sound of swish, I think the game board is a fish. Well, certainly something smells fishy on our end, but as far as the event goes, Mount Olympus, we're also going to see the standalone wrestling heavyweight championship be defended. The reigning champion over a year-long reign, the Messiah of old school, Sean Donovan, puts his coveted title on the line against a man who is a difference maker, Ilya Baratz. Ilya Baratz has had some amazing matches in his time at TCW. Ilya Baratz has taken his craft as far as Alaska. Ilya Baratz has been around a long time, as has our reigning champion, the veteran Sean Donovan. When these two forces collide, I think the fans are going to be treated to something special. Some superb technical wrestling, some old school grit, some fists, some kicks, some strong clotheslines, and at the end of the afternoon, certainly two men that are going to look beat up because you know that they're going to lay into one another, and whoever walks out champion is going to be the better man on this afternoon, and it's going to be because they earned it with good old-fashioned professional wrestling under their belt. Now, Sean Donovan's been known to take a shortcut from time to time, but so has Ilya Baratz. And certainly when these two egos enter that squared circle, mano a mano, unpredictability personified, and it all goes down this Saturday afternoon for the standalone wrestling heavyweight championship at Mount Olympus. I smell fish. All right. Whew. I survived it. You missed it. The house was filled like an aquarium with water and fish. And thank God I can swim. And thank God I shopped in Target this summer. Now, as our action continues, it's getting hardcore around here, but it ain't nothing compared to what you're going to see this Saturday in Jackson as the TCW Hardcore Championship will be defended. The man they call Waylon Cage, the reigning hardcore champion, led by Jared Soberclay, a proud member, have you, of that 7-figure faction. He puts his championship on the line in his first title defense since winning it in an unforgettable steel cage match against the viral villain Violence at Mount Olympus. His first title defense, none other than the odd soul, Vincenzo. Vincenzo, no stranger to hardcore matches. Vincenzo is the perfect challenger for this type of atmosphere. And if it wasn't enough to be a hardcore championship match, this will be a scaffold match. Go back and watch some of the greatest scaffold matches in history, old school 1980s wrestling. You can go to the WWE Network and check out ECW back in the day. Scaffold matches are nothing to sneeze at. Get this thing off. Man, but when the dust settled, I think it's going to be the fans that really win the most, as Waylon Cage and Vincenzo are going to put on a violent arsenal. These two men are going to leave each other's carcasses lying in that squared circle, possibly on the outside of the ring in the parking lot of Jackson. the scaffold into play. Unpredictability is what it's all about. And of course, whenever Jared Silverclay is at ringside, that numbers game advantage, that X factor have you, always comes into play, as Jared Silverclay knows that his clients hire him to give them a numbers game advantage. All right, come on. Let's get a good number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, man. You better watch just where you stand. The floor is quicker than quicksand. Oh my God. Oh my God. Quicksand. I hate quicksand. I don't know if for some reason I don't make it this Saturday. Make sure you do TCW Mount Olympus, our season finale. It's now in Jackson, New Jersey at the Fire Company #1. A lot of great matches announced, and I'm not done yet. You like tag team wrestling? How about this for a tag team attraction? The very intimidating force known as Primal Fear, made up of Adrian Soriano, Matthew Omen, and Gabriel Hodder, taking on a team debuting this Saturday for TCW, BX Strong, Ace Andrews, and Big Cuzzo. Now, Ace Andrews and Big Cuzzo are very confident that they're just going to come right into TCW and knock off Primal Fear. Primal Fear has one thing going for them that I think is a very important factor. They're pissed off. They just came off a loss in Jackson at Furious Intentions a couple months ago. They were robbed. They were cheated. There was a pulling of the trunks involved. It wasn't pretty, and it wasn't a good night for Primal Fear. I interviewed them after that match. They are a very intimidating force. I feel fortunate that I got the interview done and got out of there fairly unscathed. Physically, maybe not so much mentally. But now you have Primal Fear. They've had a couple months to reflect on that loss, and now fresh meat in the form of BX Strong. BX Strong, look out, because Primal Fear's bringing their A game. Let's see if I can do the same here. Okay. Here goes nothing. Enormous and yellow, these flowers grow. Their flesh-eating blossoms are hungry for you. Oh, perfect. Well, we'll see if I'm around for the next match that we announce. What's that? Time out. Those flesh-eating blossoms were not cool. Not cool. Where was I? This Saturday, TCW Mount Olympus. The Goddess Championship will be defended in a triple threat match. The Vivacious Vicious Vicky Still, your reigning goddess champion, but for how much longer? She takes on not one, but two hungry challengers who fought to a double pin, no contest in Jackson at Furious Intentions just a few months back. The Gift of Gabby Ortiz, as well as Courageous Christina Marie. Now, as recently as last month at Goddesses of War Hallowed Ground, the Vivacious Vicious Vicky did pick up a victory in a title match, a warm-up pay-per-view, a prelude to this triple threat over Gabby Ortiz. But now Gabby Ortiz and Vicky have both had time to digest that match. Gabby Ortiz knows what it's like now to lose to the champion. Can she refocus and can she form a new game plan for this Saturday? Now, Courageous Christina Marie, this woman, she's been through some tough battles as of late. A couple months back at Goddesses of War 2, she defeats Holodead. A lot of skill and a little bit of luck involved, but she walked out of that steel cage match victorious over Holodead. Now at Goddesses of War 3 Hallowed Ground, she took on a very gaming, legit Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch suffered injury in that match. The match was actually stopped. I actually announced that the match was going to be resumed at a later date. From what I heard, rumor has it that Layla Hirsch, whatever injury she had suffered, she took care of it behind the curtain, and she told the referee, I am finishing this match. She went through the curtain, and she did. The match continued, and Courageous Christina Marie, she did what she had to do. She cheated, she held the ropes, she kept Layla Hirsch's shoulders down for 3 seconds. That tells me that Courageous Christina Marie will do whatever it takes to walk out of Jackson the brand new goddess champion. But something tells me that the goddess, that girl who represents all of New Jersey, the Vivacious Vicious Vicky, is going to have something to say about that. This is a Vicky that's more aggressive, more powerful, and more confident than ever as she now goes into her second championship defense since winning the title in Jackson at Furious Intentions. Sometimes winning the title is the easy part because once you win it, you got that X marked on your back and you become a target. So we shall see if Vicky is ready to take on not one, but two challengers this Saturday. The Goddesses Championship on the line. It's gonna be something you will not soon forget. I have no idea where this hat came from. Though the jungle is a crazy place. All right, let's see what happens next. These purple lovelies you'd want to grow if it weren't for the poison barbs they throw. Oh crap! What? How the hell did you get in my seat? Everybody's trying to take my gig away from me. This guy was just hanging out in the jungle. You never know. That's what happened to Alf. I thought he just got canceled from television. He played this game. Once again, this Saturday, TCW Mount Olympus. And we can't thank Standalone Wrestling enough for their support in allowing their talent to come and hang out with our talent. And next we got the SWF Cruiserweight Championship. Yeah, the SWF Cruiserweight Championship. You've been gone a long time, Alf. That's the Standalone Wrestling Federation Cruiserweight Championship. The guy who's it. He's been it. He's Anthony Bennett, the reigning champion, surviving the numbers game against the Foundation of Wrestling in Jackson at Fury Us Intentions a few months back. He may have to give that numbers game disadvantage a whirl once again as he takes on Foundation of Wrestling member Dilfboy Daltano. Now, it's important to note that Dilfboy really made a statement, really made a name for himself at Val's Pals Go to War at the beginning of October, a benefit in which we helped out Val and the Falzarano family. Dilfboy, every role he did, it's like 4 times he appeared, whether he was the lifeguard Dalton Stiffwood, or he was getting his ass handed to him in a death match, which he doesn't belong in a death match against bona fide deathmatch specialists who make their primary income off of deathmatch wrestling. He politicked and got himself in the Pro Wrestling After Dark championship match and darn near won the title before he was so happily destroyed by John Wayne Murdoch. Or could have been when a masked brigade interrupted the Brandon Kirk, Jay Curcio Synergy Wrestling Championship match. And as it turns out, a beatdown on Brandon Kirk ended the match abruptly, and we find out that Jay Curcio, Dilfboy Daltano, Lance, and Kurt Bale are the Foundation of Wrestling, a new faction that has promised to put both Standalone Wrestling as well as Titan Championship Wrestling's rosters on notice. They're 4 gentlemen that a lot of people don't like, especially individually, and maybe weren't getting the recognition they thought they deserved individually. They've taken their built-up aggression, their built-up anger and frustrations, they've put it together, and they've channeled it into a 4-man stable that could very well prove to be one of the more dominant factions that both TCW and Standalone Wrestling have seen in a very long time. Which makes Dilfboy Daltano a very dangerous man, a very unpredictable man, in a match where he certainly is the underdog when it comes to natural in-ring wrestling skill set. Anthony Bennett's got that hands down. We've seen him in the Cruiserweight Classic. He's a staple at the world-famous Monster Factory. And he's the reigning Standalone Wrestling Federation, SWF have you, Cruiserweight Champion. Now, until he's dethroned, he's the man to beat. But with the Foundation of Wrestling lingering, what will happen in a world if Dilfboy Daltano wins the SWF Cruiserweight Championship this Saturday in Jackson, TCW, Mount Olympus? All right, you want to roll this one? All right. Roll a good one, dude, all right? A 1. You landed on the rhino, dude. I don't know what that means, but you know what? I'll just read it. Out of here. Freaking Alf. All right. At night they fly. You better run. These winged things are not much fun. Thanks, Alf. Appreciate it. I'll be right back. I gotta go get my homework. I don't know how much time I have left. The Mount Olympus Rumble. It's what it all comes down to, folks. I'm going to get through this, I swear. The Mount Olympus Rumble. Nearly 1 year in the making. It all comes down to this. A match that will see one definitive winner walk out of Jackson, New Jersey. The very first ever, the inaugural TCW heavyweight champion. And it's all about the luck of the draw. There's only one man we know who's got what spot. And Titan Killer, he's got the last entrance spot. Titan Killer originally set to face off against the big deal Craig Steele, where the winner got the last entrance spot and the loser got one. Craig Steele cannot make it to this event. Management and Jared Silberkleit have come to an accord that Titan Killer gets that last entrance spot, thus giving him the greatest odds of winning a match where he's already one of the definitive odds-on favorites to win it all. The power's in the numbers. We're going to start off with 2 competitors. Every 90 seconds thereafter, another competitor enters the mix. And the only way to be eliminated, you can't get pinned, you can't get submitted, you can't get DQ'd, and you can't get counted out. But you can get caught off guard, because the only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope and have both feet touch the asphalt ground in the parking lot of the Jackson Fire Company #1. Both feet touch, you're out of there. So it is unpredictability personified. Every competitor in this match has a fighter's chance. Who are we going to see? Well, we've already mentioned Titan Killer has got the last entrance spot. Steve Monster Mack. He finished 3rd in the double ring Road to Mount Olympus Battle Royal a few months back at Broken by Design. How about the Meadowlands Monster? He competed in the Val's Pals Rumble match back in October before he was abruptly eliminated by the legend known as Kid Carter. Now, Meadowlands Monster certainly wants to regroup from that elimination. Could he take those frustrations out in another Rumble where the stakes are that much higher? We've also got newcomer, the Bushwick Beast. We got to see him at the Road to Mount Olympus Battle Royal, and now he's back. He made an impact with management. He made an impact with the general manager, S.P. Anderson, and the Bushwick Beast looking to do what he couldn't do at Broken by Design. How about this? We got a hot dog. Hot Dog Starks is in the Rumble, as well as one of the men many are calling the odds-on favorite, Wrecking Ball Legursky. And I just realized, ain't nobody got time for this. Let me cover up all that manliness. Now, speaking of manliness, the Icon Magic is in the Mount Olympus Rumble. Could the close to 40-year veteran add one more accomplishment to his already impressive resume over the decades? A man who was not going to be hired, but then somehow came to an accord with S.P. Anderson, Steve the Body Lugo. Not only is he back with TCW, but he also got his counterpart, his troublemaker in crime, Astro Morales, signed as well. Both of them are in the Mount Olympus Rumble. A man where the whole state of Pennsylvania seemingly has come to support this man. We had a poll online. Who do you think is going to win? The whole state of Pennsylvania pulled a Biden seemingly, and Johnny Moran, the dark horse, was by far the most popular person people predicted to win it all. the pride of Scranton, Pennsylvania, would love nothing more than to take the TCW Heavyweight Championship back to PA, back to his home crowd, and show them that he is the dark horse no longer. He will be an odds-on favorite in every match going forward if he can pull off the possibility of an upset. The cyborg assassin, Rick Recon. A gentleman who's been nothing short of impressive. Every night he has competed in a TCW ring. Every night he's competed for standalone wrestling. This gentleman just impresses. And he certainly can be one of those wrestlers that you maybe didn't know how to shot, but once you see him live, how could you bet against the cyborg assassin, Rick Recon? Newcomer. Nope. Not knowing much about him, I saw his post. SP Anderson has signed the 6-tool product, Anthony Katina. A gentleman who, picture on paper, has a great look and could certainly open a lot of eyes. He's got the platform to do so this Saturday in Jackson. Some young upstarts. How about Prince Josiah? This young man, he says you can't have a Rumble match without royalty. And certainly Prince Josiah has that very royal persona. Can it translate into a victory, an upset, have you, this Saturday in Jackson? The viral villain Violence, after a historic steel cage match against Waylon Cage, he came up a little short in winning the inaugural TCW Hardcore Championship. Can he parlay that experience, and can he use what he learned and put it into a winning formula this Saturday? Could the viral villain Violence be crowned the inaugural TCW Heavyweight Champion? And how about a gentleman who's held championship gold wherever he competes? One above all, Anthony Gangone. This gentleman knows how to perform at the top of the card when the lights are the brightest and the pressure is on him the most. He keeps a calm, cool heartbeat of 70, ice water in the veins, and Anthony Gangone could be the perfect specimen of a man to bide his time and strike when the oil is just right. Could Anthony Gangone, the wrestling god, the one above all, could he be the first ever TCW Heavyweight Champion? And it wouldn't be a Rumble without a few more surprises that aren't really surprises because they already announced them. But how about Samoan Storm, Alpha Jr., a product of the legendary Samoan Dynasty. Alpha Jr. has competed on the biggest platforms our industry has to offer, and now Alpha Jr. looks to continue that legacy of excellence, a tradition carved out of gold. That Samoan Dynasty would love nothing more than to add the first ever TCW heavyweight title to their resume, to their legendary list of accolades. The Samoan Dynasty will never die, and Alpha Jr., he's bringing that skill set to TCW this Saturday afternoon. How about Casey Navarro? What he lacks in size, he makes up for in heart, speed, skill set, desire. We just saw him showcased on AEW Dark. The world's talking about Casey Navarro. I've seen his promos online. Certainly not lacking in the confidence category. And Casey Navarro has been with TCW since its inception and he would make a great representation of the first ever TCW heavyweight champion, a title not built by how much a man weighs, but how much heart a man brings to our sport. In addition, the Jersey Muscle jock, Stephen Gibke. We've seen him now on AEW Dark numerous times. He's been in TCW. He had a show-stealing match against Casey Navarro a couple months back at our TCW platform events. He looks to bring that skill set once again to Mount Olympus. Stephen Gibke, he's got the look, he's got the skill set, and he's got the ego to hold down the #1 spot in TCW. Can he do it? Gonna have to buy a ticket and find out this Saturday night. And how about this? A gentleman who I've known for a long time. A gentleman who's known throughout the New Jersey independent wrestling scene. A gentleman who's known up and down the East Coast. A gentleman who I've personally traveled with out to Indiana. And he got stuck in a car ride with me to New Orleans many years ago. And, well, he never rode with me ever again. A man I speak about, KTB. Absolutely thrilled to see KTB make his way to TCW in a debut that could be very historic. He has an opportunity to showcase that skill set. We recently saw him have an amazing match against Jungle Boy on AEW Dark. He looked amazing. He looked like he belonged there because he does. The guy works hard, and the guy has that look, that desire, and that hunger. What a better way to fluff up your resume than to become the inaugural TCW heavyweight champion. I personally wish KTB all the best of luck. My job as a commentator is to stay neutral, of course, but I do like to see fresh faces come to TCW. And KTB, I'm putting you over, brother. Good luck in the Rumble, sir. Well, there's only one thing left to do, folks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm alive so far. I have to finish this. I have one final roll left. Will I finish, or will I be in the jungle for the next 25 years or so? Come on. David Adams needs a new suit, some shiny shoes. Whew. 1, 2, 3. Jumanji! I can't believe I did it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Before I go, let me keep management happy. Let me remind you, for this Saturday, row 1, forget about it. It's sold out. But there is limited amounts of row 2 available. Now, our advanced seating prices do end Friday the 13th. That's November the 13th at 5 p.m. After that, we can't give you that discounted price. After 5 p.m. on Friday the 13th, tickets will be available at the door only, and all tickets will be just $25, and it's BYOC, bring your own chair. So we look forward to seeing you, and come with an open mind, come with high expectations. It's our season finale, an event nearly 1 year in the making. Management, the talent, everyone's put their heart and soul into building up to this afternoon. Early bell time too, folks. Doors open at 2, bell time 3 p.m. None of that nighttime in November stuff, because it is an outdoor venue. We're going to be following the highest CDC guidelines set forth by the United States government and the state of New Jersey. We want you to have a fun time, but also in a safe atmosphere. So for TCW, I'm David Adams. I have survived Jumanji. I'm never playing this game again, but I will play the game known as Mount Olympus this Saturday We're going to Jackson.